Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Each week we have different organizations come in and tell us what's going on around the area. And today we have a couple of different ones that's going to talk about a lot of things going on around the viewing area, particularly here in Harrison. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. Two young ladies from the Boone County Library.
Crystal clear mountain streams, river rapids, and rolling hills with endless valleys. The beauty of the Ozarks we often take for granted. At Magnus Toyota, we never underestimate the value of our customers. As a third-generation family-owned business, Magnus Toyota has been operating here in the Ozarks for over 50 years. When we make a new deal, we make a new friend. Stop in and visit us today and see why our customers say we're the best. Magnus Toyota, your hometown Toyota dealer on Highway 65 North in Harrison.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests today from the Boone County Library. Tina Farmer is with us today. She's going to talk about the genealogy department and some other things. And she has Mary Newberry, who's fairly new at the library. And we're going to talk about the children's programs. Thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Usually have Ginger Schonenberger come in to talk about different things. And we've had Beth Kaffenberger. Those are good names. Kaffenberger and Schonenberger. Get to spell those. But anyway, we're glad to have both of you. You've been in before. It's been a long time,
It's been quite a while.
Since you've been here, Tina. You know, one thing, particularly during the holidays, if you ever watch national television, you hear different places across the country that says if you'd like to check your background or if you want to check your DNA, it's gotten to be a big deal. Well, genealogy is a very big deal, particularly, it seemed like over the last several years, it's really gotten to be a big deal. People want to see kind of their past, their family tree, if you will.
They do.
And that's kind of your department. Tell us a little bit about what's people do when they come in to find out, well, where did I come from? Where's my relative? Do I have any relatives here or wherever? You know,
well, the great thing about our genealogy department, you don't have to be from here. Okay. Some people come in and they know relatively quite a bit. They may have gone back 3 or 4 generations with their research, and they just need a little more guidance, where to find more records, how to locate records in various states and possibly countries. Also, so we can help them with that. Some may come in and may not even know their grandparents' name. They'll know their parents' name, and then we help them get started.
Okay.
So
I guess that's my question. I mean, I've actually thought about doing it myself. But I mean, so what's the base? Where do you start? Where's the base for?
Okay, you start with what you know. You start with yourself, and you get a family tree or a pedigree chart, and you can contact me at the library. I can email you one. I can tell you where to get one online. You start with that. You put yourself on that. You list your parents. And then if you know your grandparents, you list your grandparents. Okay? Once you get that done, let's say you don't know the dates, birth date, death date, I can show you other avenues to go to get that. Find a Grave is a very popular website. It lists graves on there. It's way up in the millions now, how many graves are listed there worldwide. And you can find your ancestor's grave, and there hopefully there will be a headstone that will have birth and death years. You may need to order a birth and death certificate. You can do that if you may have to prove that they are your ancestor. Like if you were wanting to order your grandparent's death certificate, it would have to be for your grandparent. Different states have different fees. It's not all one fee. Arkansas, it can be around $12 to $15 for a birth certificate or death certificate.
Okay.
Arkansas didn't start issuing birth or death certificates until 1914. And not everyone may have had a death certificate issued. For example, my great-grandmother died in, I think, 1933 in Newton County.
Mm-hmm.
No, they didn't have one.
Did we
She
not?
didn't have one issued. Because you have to remember, we were still somewhat isolated in
Yeah.
1933. And we didn't have a funeral home, so the family had to prepare the body for burial and go to the cemetery.
Right.
You'd have like a birth certificate, one wouldn't have been issued for her then either, because she wouldn't have drawn Social Security. Social Security
Well,
didn't become...
doesn't that slow slow the process? I mean, the
It
tracking
can.
process down?
You go to census records.
Census. Right.
You can go to census records, you can go to property taxes, and it's going to vary with each era. You know, women couldn't own property prior to the Civil War. So you would be looking for the husband or the father. You'd be looking for probate records. Prior to the 1850 census, it was only listed head of household. So you wouldn't have the wife or the children there, but they would have the male or female and ages. So that can kind of help you pinpoint. And so there are other avenues that you will have to go when you can't use census records.
Wow.
And whenever you're joining organizations such as Daughters of the American Revolution, Sons of the American Revolution, you have to have documents. And that is another thing. If you want to come to the genealogy department, I can try to help point you in the right direction to get a copy of the document, because everything has to be documented.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize. That's fascinating. I'm sure, obviously, like everything else, technology has changed this whole thing. I mean,
it has.
because of the World Wide Web.
It's wonderful, because years ago, you would come into the library, and I still have some of the old books that would have just the Boone County census. You would have to go to each state and each county. Hopefully their library would have the census documents. Now, we've got Ancestry. You come in and you just sit down and use Ancestry. We have that for our patrons to use.
Absolutely.
And if you have a library card, we also have Heritage Quest. It's owned by Ancestry, and you can use Heritage Quest at home by using your library card number.
Okay.
But if you wanted to, I use Ancestry every day. So if you want to come to the library, you just come in at any of our computers and you'll have access to Ancestry.
Wow, wow. That is fascinating. I actually have been thinking about it for several years. I just hadn't got to.
It's addictive.
I need to come to. I bet it is addictive. Well, I'm going to get off that, but I want to come back in a minute.
Okay.
Mary Newberry, I want you to talk a little bit about some of the areas that you take care of at the library. And I know children's programs are a big deal down there.
Yeah, we have programs every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. On Tuesdays, it's for teens, about 12 to 18, and we've got several pretty cool things going on this month. The three biggest would be, well, first of all, we have a joint program going on with Tina on the 22nd at 4, and it's called Learn Where You Came From. So it's going to be genealogy for teens.
Genealogy for teens. Okay.
And so I think, do you have the book?
I do. Each participant will get a family tree workbook and take them through the process, how to begin. And then if they would like to bring, a lot of times parents could be interested, they could bring a parent, and we can get them started at doing their family research.
Oh, that's neat.
And we're going to be doing a door prize. This is actually going to be the prize. My manager gave it to me to bring. It's pretty
just
cool.
hold it up in front of
Okay.
the
It has a book about family trees, making one, but then also art projects related to that. So they just, if you show up, you enter your name in a drawing and you could win it. So ages 12 to 18 on that. Then the other really big thing we have happening this month is on the 17th. We have author Jody Reeves, who is a native to Mountain Home, I believe. She wrote Scamp's Favorite Dessert. This is her first book. So she will be at the library at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. for an author talk. And she's very excited. This is her first book, and she is excited to come and talk to us about it. So that should be pretty cool. And then
what age group is that kind of for, Mary, that book?
well,
Small?
it would be cataloged under our easy books. It's kind of a picture book,
Okay.
So younger.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that's the biggest, we have Yoga for Teens with Erin Middleton on January 15th. So again, 12 to 18 for that.
You know, another program, and I think Ginger's mentioned this before, and I'm sure you're still doing it, but the with school getting ready to start back in Harrison, some of the smaller schools already started, I think this week, maybe today or tomorrow. But the food program.
Food for Youth.
Yes, tell a little bit about
We do that on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 3:30 to 4:30, and basically it's done through the food bank. They bring us non-perishable meals, and kids under 18 can come in, and all we need is their name, no questions asked besides that, and they have to eat it there. But it's in order to combat hunger among children because we have pretty high rates of it.
Yes.
So, but we do it every week, 4 times a week.
That's a very good program. There's a for those of you in the viewing audience, there's a real need for nutrition, particularly nutrition for kids, for students and children, and not only Harrison School District but the surrounding area. Harrison has a big enough school district that they have people involved in that, but for some of the smaller schools or some of the homeschool children, sometimes it's a problem. So I thought that was a great program to use the food bank as to feed children, make sure they're not hungry. There's nothing any worse than hunger in anyone, but particularly children. We got about 3 minutes left. Anything, you've got a whole calendar of stuff going on here. I was kind of looking to see just throw in anything you want. For the month of January, it looks like you've got, as always, a lot of different things. You got Ozark Mountain Student Art Show. Is that something that's?
I believe that's in.
That's for the Art League.
Yeah.
The Art League that they do. You know, one thing about the Boone County Library, it's so active. They have so many things going on down there. You know, used to you think about the library, it's only books. Well, that's not true anymore. We just talk about genealogy. We talk about children's programs and feeding the children that need help there. We are real fortunate to have a library here in Harrison and Boone County like we have here.
Very fortunate.
It's a very active library. You know.
And it's for all ages.
Yes.
Just like genealogy, I'm trying to spark an interest in history for children. That way they won't be bored in history class. And I'll be happy to go into schools if there are any teachers that would about age 6th to 9th grade, somewhere in there, if they would like for me to do a 15-minute presentation, and they would get the book and kind of get an introductory to genealogy. I'd be happy to do that. They could just contact me at the library.
See, I would think that genealogy would be, you know, particularly a little older kids, would be a very interesting kind of an add-on, if you will, to history, you know, because it's history of your family, you know, and you know, we study American history and state history and so forth, but that to me genealogy is kind of a late bloomer that has come on strong, and now with all the resources that you have,
right?
Ancestry, is that the largest?
Yes, Ancestry and Family Search, and is also a good website too. And we have, you know, the millennials who are so used to having their fingertips on something electronic.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good time to get into it.
It's a good time.
It is.
Mary, did you have anything else on children? Did we cover everything that you had?
I think all the major things we did.
Major stuff.
Our calendar is available on our website and on Facebook. And if you
Yes.
come in, we have physical copies available.
Yeah,
for children.
and if somebody wants to, I think Ginger told me, somebody wants to get the newsletter, they can call down there and get on the list to get an email to them. It's a good, you guys do a great job of putting in. I'm sure it takes everybody's efforts to put their part in there, but it's very good. Believe it or not, we have run out of. It's great to have both of you here. I really appreciate both of you taking the time out of your schedule to come in. And
Well, thank you.
if you're into genealogy, for sure, you need to go down and talk to Tina and the staff, because they can get you started, and no telling where you came from. You could go back forever, and I may do that myself. I need to get into that myself. And thank you, Mary, for coming in and talk about the children's department. We appreciate it very much. Thank you both, and Happy New Year to both of you, and we hope you have a great 2019. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with another individual about another important program right here in the Harrison area on Connection.
We all all need the help of a pharmacy from time to time. Sullivan Pharmacy would like to thank all their customers for supporting them as an independent local pharmacy. When you trade with an independent pharmacy, you deal with an owner that supports the local economy and charities. Visit Sullivan Pharmacy for any of your over-the-counter or prescription needs. It's important to keep helping those that help the community. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 Main Street, Harrison, serving this area since 1965. Cold weather has arrived in the Ozarks, and Quality Feed Grains can help you get through the winter months more efficiently. They have a variety of de-icers in stock, including heated dog bowls, heated livestock buckets, heat bulbs and lamps, bucket heaters, and sinking or floating de-icers, plus de-icers for the car as well. Quality Feed Grains, helping you stay warm this winter. 4617 Highway 65 South in Bellefonte and 311 East Prospect in Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Our next guest comes to see us about once a month because there's always lots of things going on, particularly for seniors, because it's the Boone County Senior and Wellness Center. Chris Kendall is the director. And Chris, thanks for last minute. I had a last minute cancellation on me, and so thanks for filling in. I was going to call you anyway, but I was just going to put you the next week. So
it's perfect timing.
This
Thank
worked
you.
out good going into 2019. Happy New Year to you. And,
Happy New Year.
And all the staff at the Boone County Senior Center. I always like to talk to Chris because it's a lot like the program we did right before with the Boone County Library. The Senior Center does so much, and we're so fortunate in a town this size to have the Boone County Senior Center, because it really does fantastic things for the elderly people, for the seniors, some of them that can't even get out with the Meals on Wheels program. We're going to talk about that as well. But they have a lot of activities for seniors, keep them active, keep them thinking other than just, oh, my aches and pains. And sometimes it's just good to, the thing about the Senior Center is they get to rub shoulders with other individuals their age. Mm-hmm. And that's very important, isn't it?
That's right. And, not only their age, but, sometimes their situations too.
Yes.
Some have lost spouses recently, and, it's a good place for people to go to get that support that they need, that other individuals have already been there, and they're able to give them support, through one of the roughest times in their lives. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, they've been with a partner for 50, 60 years sometimes, and then just all of a sudden to be without that person in their life, it makes it rough on them. And so, there's other people who have already gone through that, and or are going through that, at the same time as the other people. And so, we encourage people that, if they have, if they've just recently lost a spouse and they're looking to, fill that gap in their life, to come to the Senior Center, and we can, we kind of know who the people are that have gone through that or are going through that, and so we can kind of help them to make new friends that might be helpful for them.
It's not good for anybody, but loneliness is not a good thing, particularly as Chris mentioned. The seniors that many times they've been with a spouse for many, many years, and it's been their life. And, to lose a loved one like that close, sometimes is very devastating at best. And so I'm like you. I think having an opportunity to have a place to go and to talk to others that maybe have gone through the same thing recently or even in their life, and just to have things to do, just get your mind off of it, to move on. You've got to move on at some point in time, and I like that about the activities that you have going out there. Let's talk about a little bit some of the activities that you do, so maybe people don't know exactly what's going on at the Senior Center.
We have several volunteer opportunities as well. So, if you find yourself with, with a gap in your life, or, just needing something to do, we have volunteer opportunities for any age. But then, for our seniors, there's things that our seniors can do as well. But the exercise programs that we have, you know, the loneliness, you know, that can be helped with companionship. But you know, a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at rest. And
Yes.
so we encourage, you know, people of all ages to keep active and to keep moving. And the exercise programs that we have at the Senior Center help them to stay active and you know, to keep moving. And all of our instructors understand that everybody has a different physical activity limit, and they modify the exercises so that the seniors don't hurt themselves, and so that, you know, you may start out at one level, but within a month or two you may be able to do a lot more than what you were when you first started. It's, you know, it's with any exercise, you know, the more you do it, the more you can do. And so you know, with seniors especially, it's really important to stay moving and to keep you know, to keep up the, you know, the routines, and to keep moving, keep active. One of our new exercise programs is Drums Alive.
Uh-huh.
And Drums Alive is it's fresh and it's fun, and it's kind of like it seems, or like it sounds. You don't actually have drums. We have a big yoga ball sat on top of a bucket, and you can sit in a chair, or you can get up and you can move around and move your legs too. Kind of depends on your physical activity level.
Right.
But it is evidence-based, and a lot of our programs, you know, this one and Extension Get Fit and Silver Sneakers, they're evidence-based. And what that means is that a doctor has, you know, or a team of doctors has put this program together and has proven that it helps you medically. You know, the programs help medically. And so, you know, that's something really great about our center. You know, that's why we're called an activity and wellness center, because we go through certain steps throughout the year to make sure that we are certified as a wellness center. And to do, you know, to have that certification, we have to meet certain requirements, and having these evidence-based programs is a part of that. And the Drums Alive, it uses music, rhythm, and movement to enhance your physical fitness, and it promotes fitness and social interaction and emotional and cognitive health. A lot of times, you know, music is very uplifting.
Yes.
You know, and you know, you can be having a rough day, but you know, that song comes on the radio, and you're like, maybe it's not so bad after all.
Yep.
You know, everything's going to be all right. And you know, music has a big impact with most people, and so, you know, the Drums Alive program has that music, it has the movements, it has great leaders. We have an instructor. You know, we have 3 different volunteers that are leading this group. One is mother, and the other one's daughter, and the other one is granddaughter.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's really awesome. You know, because they're a really great group that is leading the class, and we're trying to get more people involved. We have moved the time of Drums Alive. We have Drums Alive now on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And that's in the Senior Center's classroom. It's back off of the exercise room, and where all of our exercise classes are held. We also have Extension Get Fit, and like I said, Silver Sneakers. There's a few other you know, programs that can also help your physical activity. The International Folk Dancing is a very interesting class that we added a few years ago. And the instructor for the International Folk Dance, she not only teaches the dance, but she teaches the culture behind the dance, and
Nice.
and you know, the history behind the dance. And
Oh,
so
cool.
it's a really interesting, fun class.
Let's see. Oh,
we have
well, I was going to ask you about this one on your the Fresh Conversations.
yes,
Is that a new program?
It is. That is brand new this month, just starting for the new year of 2019. Trudy McManus she's a county extension agent, and she's a family and consumer science And she comes and does programs with us quite often, but she's going to be doing this monthly now. It's going to be the second Monday of every month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
And there again, it's going to be in the exercise classroom. And, once a month, just older adults are going to gather together, and they're going to talk about different foods, and they're going to sample new recipes, discuss current nutrition and health topics. And Trudy even has a newsletter that she's going to send home with everyone every month. And so, you'll have information that you can take home with you too. And she's very informative and just a really sweet lady.
That's a good program. I mean, I would think it kind of goes along with the nutrition side of your, of the organization there. And it's many times with seniors, as they get older, they kind of forget about some of the needs and the necessities that to keep healthy and so forth. That's what I like about the Boone County Senior and Wellness Center, is because it is activity based, plus it's also nutritional. The programs that the seniors forget about or may not know about for sure, maybe knew about, and as age goes along, you forget about things. So I think that's good. These are good, fresh programs that I like to see you do.
They are. And, as far as the nutritional, we serve a meal every day at the Senior Center.
Yes.
But then we also have the home-delivered meals.
Yes.
And all of our meals are they're approved by a dietitian. And that our meals meet 1/3 of the recommended daily intake for seniors. And so we're not able to customize the meals. We can't, feed this person this and feed that person that in the same day. Unfortunately, we just don't have the staffing or the budget for it. And so we choose one menu item per day. And, we try to keep it, we try to keep a good variety and keep the things that people like a lot. Yesterday we had meatloaf, and today we're having a shrimp, a breaded shrimp. And so, there's a good variety of foods, and, we try not to have beef and pork and then beef again, or, beef back to back in the same, in the same 2 days. But, we serve several people in the Senior Center, but, the home delivered meal program serves a lot of people as well. I ran a report right before I came over. I was curious, and we served 281 people last year. And to those 281 people, we served over 48,000 meals.
Wow.
To their home.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. It is.
Well, you do a fantastic job out there, and we've got about a minute left. So did I miss anything? Do we cover kind of for January? I know January's a little slower month because of the weather. Usually it's not good and so forth. But
it is.
The Senior Center is open every day to any senior that would like to come out there, and it's a simple donation for them to have their lunch. And
it is, and we never turn anyone away for inability to give that
so
donation.
It's there.
We suggest a $3 donation per meal, and that's for a meal in the center or home delivered meals as well.
Either way.
Also, if you know someone who lives out in the county that we haven't reached yet, if they don't know about our program.
What's your phone number?
It is 870-741-1505.
Thank you. Chris, thanks again. Chris Kendall, she's such a trooper. I called her up. I said, I've got one organization that I can't get a hold of. They've obviously got a problem, and I need to finish the show today. She said, I'll be right there. So it was good to have her, because I was going to call her for next week, so we're just getting you in a week early anyway. So thank you so much, and Happy New Year to you and your staff, and fantastic job with the seniors. It's a great place. Go by the Boone County Senior Center and check it out. It's quite an organization and beautiful center. Thanks so much, and we will see you again in about the end of the month for the next month's activities. Thanks for joining us today on Connection.
local television worth watching. KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.